Chapter 1. The Prologue. It's a beautiful day. The weather is good, the birds are singing, the grass is green, and there are flowers everywhere. Now, my story can begin. My name's Geoffrey, and today I'm going on a pilgrimage to Canterbury. I'm going to Canterbury with a group of people. We're going there together. I met these people yesterday at an inn in London. I arrived at the inn in the afternoon. I was very tired and hungry. "Good afternoon," I said to the man who worked at the inn. He was the innkeeper. "I'd like a room for the night. I'm going to Canterbury tomorrow. The road to Canterbury is long. I need to sleep well before I start." "Good afternoon," said the innkeeper. "Do you know that some other people are going to Canterbury tomorrow? They're staying here tonight." "I'd like to meet them," I said to the innkeeper. In the evening, I met the other people. The inn was big, and there was a lot of good food and drink. Everybody had dinner together, and the innkeeper gave good food to everybody. The innkeeper was a nice person. He was a very big man, and he enjoyed speaking to people. He was very good at his job. Everybody enjoyed their dinner. After dinner, the innkeeper spoke to the group. "You're a very nice group of people," he said. "I know that God will listen to your prayers. You're all going to the same place, so you must go to Canterbury together. What do you think?" "Yes, we can go together," I said. "And I want to go to Canterbury with you," said the innkeeper. "Now, we have to travel for a long time, and I think we can do something interesting. We can play a game. What do you think?" "Yes," said everybody in the group. "Tell us about this game." "Now, listen to what I have to say," said the innkeeper. "We'll go to Canterbury together, and every person will tell a story. I'll listen to every story. Then I'll tell you which story is the best." Everybody in the group wanted to play this game. "Very well," said the innkeeper. "And I will give something to the person who tells the best story. That person will have dinner at my inn, and I'll pay for the dinner." The people in the group were very happy, and they began to think of what story to tell. In the group, there was a knight. Everybody liked him, and he was always happy to help people. He was an important man, but his clothes were cheap. His horse was fast, but it was small. "I'm a knight, and my life is very exciting," said the knight. "And my story is also going to be exciting. It's about two brothers who love the same woman." There was also a clerk in the group. He was a nice man, but he didn't speak very much. He liked reading and studying. That's all he wanted to do. He was very slim, and he didn't eat very much. And he liked books more than food. "I read a lot of books," said the clerk. "I don't want nice clothes or good food. I don't have much money. And I use the money I have to buy books. That's why I read a lot of stories. My story is very easy to understand. But it's not boring. I think everybody will enjoy it. It's about a king who has many secrets. Another person in the group was a merchant. He had a lot of money, but he wasn't a happy man. He always had a sad face. He was different from the knight. His clothes were very expensive. Everything he had was expensive. His clothes, his hat, and his horse. "I have an important business," said the merchant, "and I have a lot of things to do. But I'm not very happy with my life. And that's why my story will be sad. It'll be about an old man who can't see." I also have to tell you about another man. He was a franklin. He was different from the clerk. He was very rich and important, but he didn't have a business. He had a big house in the country, and he often invited people there. He liked good food. "I'm very old, and my house is big, and I like inviting people there," said the franklin. "In my house I often tell stories. I enjoy it. My story will be very interesting. It's about a woman who doesn't like the sea." "Why doesn't she like the sea?" "Well, you'll have to listen to my story." There is another person I want to tell you about. He was a pardoner. He also liked reading. And he liked to sing songs and say prayers. He had a strange face. "I travel a lot, and I always say prayers for people," said the pardoner. "There are a lot of bad people in the world. I'll say a prayer for them, but they have to give me some money. My story will be about 3 people who do something very bad." Everybody was tired. It was late in the evening, and the knight said, "We can go to bed now. Then we can leave early in the morning." We all went to bed. We were tired, but happy. Early next morning we got up, and then we left for Canterbury on our horses. We were slow, and after many hours we came to a place called St. Thomas, and we stopped there. We sat down, and then we had something to eat. After eating, the innkeeper said, "Listen, do you remember what we said last night?" "Of course," said the knight. "Well," said the innkeeper, "who wants to begin? Who wants to tell the first story?" "I'm happy to tell you my story," said the knight. "I think you'll enjoy it. It's very exciting." And then the knight began to tell his story. Chapter 2. The Knight's Tale. "My story is about 2 brothers," said the knight. "Their names were Palamon and Arcite, and they were knights. The brothers were from a city called Thebes. They did everything together. They weren't only brothers, they were also friends. But they were very sad. They were sad because they didn't live in Thebes anymore. They lived in Athens. And they didn't live in a house. They lived in a prison. They couldn't leave the prison, and they couldn't speak to anybody. Every morning, they looked out of the prison window. From their window, they could see a beautiful garden. One morning, Palamon woke up, and then he looked out of the window. But something was different. There was a woman in the garden. Her name was Emily. She was the daughter of the king of Athens. "Look," said Palamon. "That woman is beautiful. Oh, I'm in love. Arcite, come here. Look." Arcite went to the window, and he saw the woman. "Yes, you're right. She is beautiful," he said. "One day, I'll marry her." "I saw her first," said Palamon. "You can't love her. You must help me." "No," said Arcite. "My love is perfect. You must help me." Arcite and Palamon both loved Emily, and they had the same conversation every day. "I love her." "No, you can't love her," was all you could hear from the small room, their prison. And then, one day, a friend of Arcite's visited the king of Athens. He wanted to speak to the king about Arcite. "Can he go home?" asked Arcite's friend. "He's a good man, and I want to see him again." "I'll do what you ask," said the king. "Arcite can go home, but he must never come to Athens again, and Palamon must stay in prison." Arcite went back to Thebes, but he wasn't happy. "I'm going home," thought Arcite, "but I can't see Emily. Palamon can see her in the garden. It's better in prison." But Palamon was sad as well. "Arcite, you can go back to Athens," he thought. "You can fight the king of Athens, and you can marry Emily. I have to stay in this prison." In Thebes, Arcite was very sad. He didn't sleep or eat very much. "I'll wait for 2 years," thought Arcite, "and then I'll go to Athens again. Nobody will know me. I'll wear different clothes. I'll change my name. And I'll find a job. I'll be a servant in the king's house. And then I'll see Emily." And that's why, after 2 years, Arcite went back to Athens. And soon he was the king's servant. The king liked Arcite because he was good at his job. One day, Arcite went to a forest near Athens, and he sat near a tree. "What can I do?" said Arcite. "I'm the king's servant. I'm near Emily, but she doesn't know who I am. I want to die." Then a man spoke to Arcite. It was Palamon. "Hello, brother. It's me," said Palamon. "Stop thinking about Emily. Only I can love her." "Palamon, it's you," said Arcite. "Why aren't you in prison?" The king sent me home yesterday, but I'm not going home. I want to find Emily." "Well, I'll fight you for Emily," said Arcite. "But not today. We're knights, remember? We must do things in the right way. Tonight, I'll bring some food, and then tomorrow we'll fight." "All right," said Palamon. And so the brothers said goodbye. On the next day they met in the forest, and then they started fighting. On the same day, the king was also in the forest. He was with Emily, and he saw Palamon and Arcite. "Stop," said the king. "What are you doing? Stop now." "Kill us," said Arcite. "Now I'm your servant, and before that I was in your prison. My name is Arcite, and this is my brother Palamon. We're fighting because we both love Emily." "Then you must die," said the king. But Emily stopped the king. "Please don't kill them," she said. "They're fighting for love." "Well," said the king, "you're right, Emily. But only one of them can marry you. Palamon, Arcite, come back to the forest next summer. Bring 100 knights, and then you'll fight for Emily. Now go." Soon it was summer. Palamon and Arcite came back to Athens. They both had 100 knights, and they were ready to fight the next day. That night, Palamon had a dream. In his dream, a woman said, "I can see you. You are marrying Emily." On the same night, Arcite also had a dream. In his dream, a man said, "I can hear you. You are saying, 'Hooray! Emily will be my wife.'" Which dream was right? Well, now I'll tell you. In the morning, everybody came to the forest. The knights were ready, and they began to fight. After 3 hours, Emily was worried. "They're fighting for me. Who's going to be my husband? When will they stop?" And then, after many hours, they did stop. Palamon was very tired. "Stop," he said. "I can't fight any more." "Stop fighting," said the king. "Arcite will be Emily's husband." "Hooray!" said Arcite. "I'm very happy. Emily will be my wife. I must go to her and—" But then Arcite stopped speaking. He didn't feel very well. People came to help Arcite. "I'm not well," said Arcite. I can't feel anything. I'm dying. This is the end. Goodbye, Emily, my love. Goodbye, Palamon, my brother." And then Arcite died. Soon it was winter, and the king called for Palamon and Emily. "As you know, Arcite died last summer, and it was very sad," said the king. "Emily, I want you to be happy. Palamon, you must marry Emily. It's the right thing to do." "Thank you," said Palamon. "Arcite was a good knight. He was my dear brother. But we had to fight for love. Emily, I know we'll be happy together, but we'll never forget my brother. He died for love." Chapter 3. The Clerk's Tale. The clerk was the next person to tell his story. "I have an interesting story," he said. "It's about a king called Walter. He was the king of Salluce in Italy. Walter wanted to marry a woman, but only he knew the name of this woman. It was his secret. The woman's name was Griselda. She was young and beautiful, and she was very nice. She was very poor, and she lived in a small house with her father. She cooked and cleaned for him every day. And now I'll tell you their story," said the clerk. One day, Griselda was at home with her father. "Today is the day," said Griselda. "Today we'll know the name of the king's wife. Who will it be? It's very exciting." "I think his wife will be a rich woman," said Griselda's father. But Griselda's father was wrong. And soon he heard somebody at the door. Griselda's father opened the door, and he saw Walter, the king of Salluce. "I want to speak to you. I want to marry Griselda," said Walter. "Griselda? My Griselda?" said the father. "But this is strange. We're poor, and you're the king. Why do you want a poor wife?" "That's not important," said Walter. "She's the woman I love. Can I speak to her?" "Well, of course," said the father. And then Walter went inside the house, and he spoke to Griselda. "Griselda," said Walter, "will you be my wife? You must do everything I say." "I'm too poor for you," said Griselda. "I cook and clean. I work hard. I have a different kind of life. But I want you to be happy. I'll be your wife, and I promise to do everything you say." "That's good," said Walter. And then Griselda went home with Walter. Servants arrived. They gave Griselda a beautiful dress, and on that day Walter married Griselda. Walter and Griselda were very happy. The people of the city liked her. Soon Griselda had a beautiful baby girl. Walter was also happy, but he was worried about something. "Griselda is very nice," he thought. "But does she love me? Is she only nice because I'm the king? I have to know that she loves me." Then Walter did something very bad. One night, Griselda was in her room. She was with her daughter. Walter's servant came into the room. "I'm sorry it's late," said the servant, "but I must do what the king says." I must take your daughter." The servant took the child from Griselda. Griselda was very worried. "What's he going to do with my daughter? Is he going to kill her?" thought Griselda. But Griselda said nothing. "Now go," said Griselda to the servant, "and do what the king says." Then the servant took the child to Walter. "Don't tell anybody about this," said Walter to his servant. "Go with my daughter to Milan. She'll live with my sister. But remember, it's a secret. Nobody must know that this girl is my daughter." And then the king's servant took the child to Milan. What did Griselda do? Did she hate her husband? The answer to this question is no. Griselda didn't change. "Does Griselda love me or not?" thought the king. "Oh, I don't know." After 5 years, Griselda had another baby. It was a boy. Griselda was happy again. But Walter wasn't happy. "Griselda," said Walter, "do you promise that you'll always love me?" "Yes, I do," said Griselda. "I'm your wife, and I left my old life. I left my house and my father. I'll die for you. Is that what you want?" But Walter wasn't happy. "I have to know that she loves me," he thought. Soon, Griselda's son was 2 years old. One night, Griselda was in her room. She was with her son. Then, the servant came into her room again. "I must take your son," he said. "It's what the king wants." "First my daughter, and now my son," thought Griselda. "Oh, my children! What will Walter do to my son?" Griselda said goodbye to her son, and then the servant took the child to Walter. "Take my son to Bologna," said Walter. "And remember, this must be a secret." And then the servant left. He took the boy to a family in Bologna. "Now I'll know," thought the king. "Will Griselda love me now?" But Griselda didn't change. She didn't hate Walter. She was good to him. "I don't know what Walter is thinking," thought Griselda. "I promised to love him, and I will love him. But why does he do these bad things?" For some years, Walter was happy. His daughter was in Milan, and she was now 18 years old. And Walter began to worry again. "Does Griselda love me?" he thought again. And then he did another bad thing. The king called for Griselda, and he said to her, "I don't need you anymore. I want a new wife." Griselda said nothing, and then she left Walter's room. Walter then spoke to his servant. "Bring me my son and daughter," he said. "But it must be a secret. Don't tell anybody who these children are. I'll say to everybody that I'm going to marry the girl. Of course, I'm not going to marry her. She's my daughter. But nobody will know this." That afternoon, Walter spoke to Griselda again. Griselda, a poor woman can't be my wife. I was wrong, he said. My new wife is arriving. You must go back to your father's home. Leave your clothes here. I'll give them to my new wife. Thank you for everything, said Griselda. I'll go home to my father. He's old. I want you to be happy with your new wife. And then she left the room. The king was very sad. I hate doing this, he thought. I love her so much, but I must know that she loves me. The next day, Walter went to Griselda's house. He wanted to ask Griselda something. Griselda, as you know, my new wife is arriving, said Walter. I need somebody to clean her room. Will you help me? I'll be happy to help, said Griselda. And then she went to Walter's house. She cleaned the rooms, she made the beds, and she washed the plates. That morning, Griselda's son and daughter arrived. When Griselda saw the girl, she thought, she's beautiful. And she thought of her daughter. My daughter is the same age, she thought. And when Griselda saw the boy, she thought of her son. The boy is so clever. My son is the same age. Of course, she didn't know that they were her children. When Griselda saw the king, she said, That girl is very nice. She's beautiful. Be nice to her. I hope you'll be happy. Stop this, said the king. I don't want to do this any more. My dear wife Griselda, I love you very much. Griselda, you are my wife, and you're perfect. And then Walter called for his son and daughter. Griselda, this is our daughter, and not my new wife. And this is our son. I'm very sorry. I only wanted you to love me, and now I know that you do. These are our children. Griselda was happy to see her children again. Thank you, said Griselda. My children are safe. That night they had a big party.